fantasy sports world. It's your boy Open Mind, one half of the ReCapp Fantasy Football Podcast, and we back again with week 8 of football. So listen, y'all, DZ can't be with us on this episode, just this episode, for personal reasons, but it's no big deal. DZ will be with us next week in week 9, okay? So I'm going to roll solo and give y'all my picks for week 8 of fantasy football. All right, and let's start it off with a quarterback from the Bengals. Old man Joe Flacco was traded from the Cleveland Browns to the Bengals, and he went to the Bengals and started acting a fool. I think he took it personal. If you ask me, Joe Flacco took that trade personal. Let me show y'all what I can do. I ain't done yet. I still got some gas in the tank. Joe Flacco is acting a doggone fool over there in Cincinnati, right? Beat up on them Steelers. And let's pair Joe Flacco up with Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is a happy camper right now because Joe Flacco threw him 160 yards worth of passes and a touchdown. Mind you, Joe got 3 touchdowns. And I don't think he's done yet, okay? He about to beat up on these Jets. The Jets don't have a chance. They 0-4 right now. 0-7. Jets ain't won a game since they started playing football this season. I don't see why the Bengals not going to beat the Jets. I could be wrong, okay? Upsets happen any given Sunday, but I'm gearing towards the Bengals beating the Jets, right? So put Joe Flacco and Jamar Chase on your squad. If you want to get this money in week 8 of fantasy football, you better pick them. And the next player up is a rematch that we all been waiting for. We all been waiting on this rematch. That's the Giants versus the Eagles. That player is Cam Skattebo. Skattebo ran for 3 touchdowns against the Eagles as they beat up on the Eagles 2 weeks ago, right? Now, mind you, the Eagles defense was hurt. Jalen Carter and Brandon Graham was not there. Brandon Graham and Jalen Carter are back. This is going to be interesting to see how this game goes. I personally think the Eagles are going to beat the Giants. I don't think the Giants are going to beat them twice, but I also felt like that when they first played them. I had no idea the Giants had it in them to beat the Eagles. So, doesn't matter who wins, of course, but I don't think they're going to beat the Eagles again. However, doesn't mean Cam Skattebo not going to eat. He might not get 3 touchdowns again, but I give Cam Skattebo at least 70 to 85 rushing yards, a touchdown, 3 or 4 receptions for about 40 yards. That should be some good numbers on your lineup, right? Your DraftKings, your FanDuel, your parlays, and your prize picks. Put Cam Skattebo on your squad, win or lose. If you want to get this money in week 8 of fantasy sports, you better pick them. And my last player up, I got tight end this week. Last week, DZ had tight end. We always take turns and switch it up because the tight end spot is one of the most difficult positions to pick in fantasy sports. So I'm going to give y'all a tight end that's very consistent, that's been consistent since week 1. And that is none other than Tyler Warren of the Indianapolis Colts, okay? Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, whatever you want to call him, has been connecting with Tyler Warren since week 1. That is one of his favorite go-to receivers, right? Tight end, but he might as well be a receiver. Because look how he out there balling, right? Tyler Warren is a very consistent tight end. He's been consistent, right? Win or lose the game, Tyler Warren gonna get some receptions, he gonna get some yards, and he gonna get a touchdown. At least one, okay? You want a tight end that's gonna give you some production. You want a tight end that gets receptions, that gets some production on your squad. So put Tyler Warren on your squad for week 8 of fantasy football. If you wanna get this money, you better pick 'em. All right, that wraps up the show for week 8. I am your host, Open Mind, one half of the ReCapp Fantasy Football Podcast, okay? Now listen, y'all, we couldn't do this without y'all. All right, last week we got 26.4K views, just beating our record of the previous week of 26K views even, okay? We couldn't have done that without y'all. Y'all are the reason that our views are shooting up. Our likes are shooting up. Our shares, our podcast is growing because of you guys, right? And from the bottom of my heart, no cap. No cap, no BS, all seriousness. From the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of these Deuce's heart, we definitely thank y'all for the support that y'all been giving us, the love y'all been showing us, right? So I want to put out a challenge, right? This is a little friendly challenge. Let's see if we can get to 30,000 views on this video, right? Just me rolling solo. These will be back with us next week in week 9. Let's get the views up to 30K. If we don't get it, it's fine. Still love y'all, still humble, still thank you for the support, right? But we cannot do this without y'all. We couldn't have done this without y'all. Y'all are the reason that we in the season, okay? I'm your host, Open Mind. See y'all in week 9. Happy drafting. Creator bless y'all. Deuces.